WB80. W1IK Portable 8. Hi, Jim. I just looked at the time. I think Larry's running the net today, so I'll keep it short. Where are you portable at? At Addison Oaks County Park. Oh boy, I haven't been there since '87. Did a field day with the launch cruise people when I first got, I think I first got my general, yeah. Ran the 20-meter CW station, if I recall. Didn't know what I was doing, but had a good time. Well, Walt, your long-term memory is very good. Your short-term memory, not so good. You told me this story yesterday. I just want to refresh your memory. I've known that, absolutely. But it's now you have to move. Okay. Huh. Turkey's coming in on 14008. Guy in Freeland worked him. I haven't worked Turkey in I don't know how many years. Anyway, yeah, you're probably right. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got Turkey on at least a couple of bands. Anyway, just getting my dinner ready. We finally look like maybe the storms are letting up around here. Been almost a complete washout today, so anyway, getting my ribeye steak ready to go on the grill and waiting for the net. So I will get back to what I was doing and wait for the net. Whiskey 1 India Kilo Portable 8. WB80.
And we're streaming live. Wow. Sorry, my audio. We're streaming live on YouTube. Technology, AC8ZD.
How do you get to it, WB80?
I have a link on Facebook on our USECA site, and then you can search my call sign on YouTube. It should show up that way.
And it should be on frequency. KT7TT in Mesa on frequency. So is WA1UTQ. Select WB80. Well, I think, let me see if Larry's around. He's having trouble with his radio, actually. Heavyweight SLX, WB80. If not, I'll take it. Larry, you're not coming through the repeater. You came through the internet, though. I got Dave's page up. Want to try it again? Hey, Larry, I'm sorry. I didn't get what you said. Do you want me to take the net over? Something's haywire here. I'll take the net, Larry. No problem. Hey, good evening, one and all. And good morning to our friend in Australia. Oh, let me turn this off. Here we go. Anyway, welcome to the Zombie Alert Network, USECA, Thursday evening C4 FM net, WB80 net control. It's a topic net. Somebody got to think of a topic, or I've got not a good topic, but I think somebody can come up with a better one. And we got our buddy Mark out there in Arizona, Andy on the west coast of Michigan, and we got Bruce down there in Florida. Any other check-ins? You're calling your name. Please take your time. Whiskey 1 India Kilo, Portable 8, Addison Oaks, Michigan. Kilowatt 8, Juliet Echo, Hotel, Jim Mobile. Victor Kilo 4, Mike Sierra.
Alpha Charlie 8, Zulu Delta.
This is KI8M, Gary.
W8SOX.
KI8M. Anybody else? Don't hold back.
W8SOX.
AC8ZD, if you haven't gotten me already.
And we got W8SOX. Larry, did you want me to continue with the net? No problem on my end.
I'm still in the mix of packing a few things up here, but yeah, I appreciate it, and I will owe you one.
Hey, no problem, my friend. Okay, we got W8SOX, a small but important group this evening. And Michigan weather, we had storms blow through and a lot of heat. Oh, I did hear Turkey just before the net. Turkey is on the bottom end of 20 meters CW. I haven't worked Turkey in a lifetime. Very unusual country. Nobody smiled in Turkey. I'm serious. It's like you didn't see a smile. That's a story for another time. Anybody come up with an idea for a topic tonight? Would appreciate it. Call Net Control WB80.
VK4MSS, Walt.
Go right ahead, sir. Your idea is?
Well, this will probably float like a lit balloon, but you never know your luck in a country town. A question for the topic. What do you like doing? What do you enjoy doing when you're not playing radio? What do you like to do? That's what I reckon there, Walt. Take it away.
All right. What are your other hobbies or comfort zones, or what do you consider time well spent other than amateur radio? Okay, let's go to Mark. And give us a weather report, Mark. KT7TT WB80.
Whiskey 1 India Kilo, Portable 8.
Oh, I got you.
WB80 in the group, KT7TG, Mark, Mesa, Arizona. Okay, it's 91 degrees, and we had rain again today. This is really something this year. For about the last 25 or so years, our monsoon season has been a real bust. It's been not much rain at all. We've had rain every day for the last week or more, and for the next week we're predicting more rain. So maybe not every day in my neighborhood, but overall it's kind of shades of the old days. When I first was out here in the 1980s, we'd have rain 3 or 4 times a week, and the desert was always green, and there was all kinds of wildlife, and boy, those days have been long gone. So it's nice to see things coming back a little bit. Although I just noticed for our area, my neighborhood, we're up to 1 3/4 inches of rain total for the year, and we're over halfway through the year. So our normal is like 8 inches, so we've got a long ways to go. And on that question that Mel put out, boy, I guess I enjoy going out in the desert and doing a little shooting. I've got quite a few handguns and some rifles and shotguns, and we enjoy that pretty much. I can't say I'm a collector, I'm more of an accumulator over the years since I was 15 or so. It's been a long, long time anyway. But the older I get, the more I want to stay in the house when it's hot out. I don't do much in the summertime anymore. So I guess I'm slowing down in my old age. But other than that, that's about all I can say on this end. Other than that, my other hobby is reading. I enjoy reading a lot of books. I recently discovered Louis L'Amour, so I've been starting to read some of his stuff. So that's keeping me kind of busy there when I'm not on the radio. So with that, back to you, Walt, from KT7TT. I'll be around probably for another 20 minutes or so.
Okay, Mark. I fault people who have firearms that don't know how to use them. I'm serious. One guy down the street never shoots a pistol, but spent about $2,000 on a for timber, something like that. And well, I'm not going to go to the range. That costs money. Yeah, well, learn how to use it. And Mark, you probably got your first shotgun out of Silversteins. Oh yeah. Andy, N8HUB, WB80. Your thoughts on the topic other than amateur radio? What else gives you pleasure?
HUB, huge to the group. Good evening to you all. Hello to Larry, too. Good thing you pick up the net there, Walt. Phone is Larry, but can't get in there sometimes. Technical difficulties. It's good for one another. Well, other than amateur radio, I used to like guns too. To get out there to the ranges, guys around it, go out target practicing, shooting against each kind of a little contest, That was always a lot of fun. They had that way, plus shotguns and for 10s, 12 gauge, 20 gauge for pheasant, bird hunting, for rabbit hunting, but for years, I get a lot easier for practical for me to get into AM radio and stay in the house on the hot weathers and really stay in the house. So I can do this all year long. Let me take a minute here. Well, other than that, I like dabbling on looking at diagrams and trying to build different things up. I just got me a new phone. I should say a computer with a phone in it. Here for a while, so I'm gonna try to get back in that stuff, look things up, get some diagrams going, and get some parts, resistors, capacitors, capacitors. Yeah, try to build some of this stuff up during the winter, and that'll keep me going. But just give you another number on the list. Thanks for doing that. Back to you, N8HUB.
Okay, Andy, and of course, Andy runs a net on Tuesday night in room 21335, Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, Western Michigan Connect. Got a lot of people checking into that, and room 21335, 7 o'clock Tuesday. I really blew this one. I should have went to Jim, K-H-J-E-H, right away. He's mobile. I apologize, Jim. Hope you're still there. Pick it up.
Hey, good evening, Walt, and everybody on the net. Good evening, everybody out there. Yep, mobiling around right now. Got a few things going on. Hopefully making the repeater okay out here around the New Baltimore area. Let's see, on topic. What do I like to do other than play radio? A lot of people have the same hobbies that I do. I definitely do go to the range quite often. And I own quite a few firearms, and I train with those firearms, and I know how to use those firearms, as Walt would say. Aside from that, I work in IT, so I do a lot of computer stuff, and that's still a hobby of mine, so it kind of makes the job a little bit easier, because I do like working on computers and doing, networking and servers and switching and wireless and all the things that, all the IT stuff that makes a company move. That's what I do. So it's kind of nice. That's one of the other things. Hanging around with the daughter and the family and all that stuff. That's obviously one of the things on the higher ups on the list. Without them, who would I be, really? My daughter is, I'd say, one of the most important people in my life other than my wife. Those are a few things that I like to do other than play radio. Got some other, smaller things on the list that I don't do very often, which isn't a big deal. So that's it. We'll send it back to you, Walt. I'll be in the mobile for, 15, 20 minutes, but I should be stationary at that point at the house. Real good, Jim. And Jim, of course, is the president of the USECA Amateur Radio Club, and thank you for all you do, my friend. And Mark made mention about reading. Yeah, I'm going to revisit Tom Clancy. I used to love his writings. This coming winter, I'm going to get back into book reading. James A. Michener, I used to travel with that guy through his books, and one of the greatest joys was when I finally got to Hawaii after reading this book. And, man, oh man, I got to revisit those authors. Their reality. WA1UTQ. Bruce, weather report, and what do you do besides radio? Besides have your armored golf cart in a place called the Villages. Very scary. Bruce, over to you.
Besides golf carts, huh? That's what I've been driving around. Yeah, in this nice hot weather. Reached 100 today. Like I did mention, like in Arizona, weather's been crazy. We're supposed to be in our wet season so far. We just had a thunderstorm pass north of us, so we missed out on that one. So far, we've been in the hundreds several days. Once in a while we get a little sprinkle, and that's about it. And makes the 2 points go up. And right now it's 86 degrees. And but all the rain, thunderstorms goes around us. So, and that's what our weather is down here. It's warm, but I get used to driving the golf cart. There's no air conditioning in the golf cart, but you can get one of these mini golf carts, and it looks like a soccer car, and you can put air conditioning. I got heat in the golf cart, but I don't need the heat right now. Who knows? We'll probably be getting super cold weather this winter. It's been very, very cold. So, let's see. If I tell you what I do besides amateur radio, just got off on the board of directors meeting, which I'm a treasurer anyways, and we just bought a fourth DR2 repeater. So, replacing some of these 30-plus-year-old Motorola's. I think they're the 2000 series, I think, and 3. So, we decided to update our stuff because parts are not easy to get. But it's not going to last long. Every time something breaks, and we have to keep repairing it. So out of the 12 repeaters, I got 2 of my own, which I'm on now on 440. But so, anyways, and today we turn on the wires, and I'm hearing Spanish all day. Ooh, I never realized it was really interesting. But I don't understand Spanish anyway. One guy was driving from Ocala down south near Orlando, and did pretty good, 31 miles away through this repeater, which is great, and we're down to Winter Haven, somewhere around HRO is. So, and we also have another station out there, 21 miles away from this repeater, on this FT5 talking. So we took pretty good for flatland. So, anyways. Hey, if you guys want to know, 220 QSO net is on this weekend, 6 and 7. I'm going to try 220 here and see how it works. Oh, by the way, the wires is now up to 100,200 besides the private and whatchamacallit. So it's actually like 90,200
a private node up to 100,000. But if you look at your unit, if you look at it, it starts on the top now because the ones don't exist. So the 00200. So I'm sitting there, wait a minute, where's my 200? I'm 186 in the United States, so that's 11186. So anyway, okay, what do I do? Well, I do have several projects besides ham radio. I have my own business, which not doing here because let the old younger people take care of it. I study cell phone towers, cell phone bands and stuff like that, and how they operate compared to 20 years ago, how everything was interesting. Even back in 1986, when I had my first Motorola brick phone, and everything was AM, and you could see going from tower to tower. All it does is keep beeping. Depends on what tower you go on to. That was 800 megahertz. But a lot of interesting things are happening in that. And also working with testing for the sample box, the ATCS 3.0, we get 5. And one station is running TV station on the OTA is running 4K, so we're doing some testing for them, and because it is the beta box, but hopefully I'll end up with the box. But anyhow, so that's what I've been doing. Now that's on the ham radio itself, and DXing on that band. Oh boy. So anyhow. Okay, well, it sounds good. I know we have a low prize. Peter's very quiet down here at the moment. And the last 2 weeks I wasn't on at 2 club meetings. Somebody was supposed to turn on the zombie alert net. It's when I got home, it wasn't turned on, so I figured there'll be other people who would like to use it. Okay, 73. Okay, all, and it sounds good, and we'll right here, standing by, and we'll chat with you a little while. This is WMUTQ here in North Central Florida, and nice 86 degrees.
Well, it's been hot here. I think it was 97 yesterday coming home from the beach. We had a lark in a park, which I loaded up everything in my vehicle, took off, and forgot my radio. The waste is a terrible thing to mind, let me tell you. But Chuck had his radio up in the air. I think 7 of us were there, and we had a good get-together. And the breeze, the wind was howling off the water of the back bay, and it was nature's air conditioning. We were all sitting in the shade. We had a wonderful time. It has a lot of meaning to my life doing stuff like that. It really does. The fellowship is phenomenal. Mark, by the way, when my brother moved out, well, he was in a Marine Corps out there in California, and when he went to relocate out there, he used to complain about the rain. He lived in San Francisco, LA, places like that, and the monsoon season was real in the 70s. He's still out there. W1IK Jim in the wilderness of Addison Oaks. And did you ever go to that mansion they have out there, Jim? I never did to go inside of that, and I heard it's a beautiful structure. Over to you, Jim.
WB80 net control for the USECA Thursday night C4 FM system fusion net here on the Zombie Alert Network. Good evening, Walt, and good evening to all aboard. This is Whiskey 1 India Kilo, Portable 8 at Addison Oaks Campground near Leonard, Michigan, northeastern corner of Oakland County. No, Walt, I have not been to the Buell Mansion, the Buell House, as they're calling it. I know that it's there, but I haven't seen it yet. I've been hunkered down either because of excessive heat or excessive storms for the past several days. Hopefully, this will be the end of that for a while. I'm hoping so for the rest of the trip. Don't need any more rain. Plenty wet around here still. but it was raining as recently as about 5 p.m. over here. Anyway, what do I like to do when I'm not playing amateur radio? Well, I like to perform music for audiences, which I do professionally. I like to do that vocally, instrumentally, or both, as the case may be. I also like to bicycle. I'm not a competition caliber cyclist, but I enjoy it a great deal, and have not had a chance to ride the bike since I've been on this trip. It got real good and wet. It got a good wash, as did both vehicles and the trailer. But anyway, hoping to get some cycling in on this trip as well. And also, let me break for time. I like to RV camp. I like RVing, as you can probably guess. I'm Portable 8 at the Addison Oaks campground, and I'm going to be here until Tuesday. Got here on Tuesday afternoon and leaving Tuesday around noon. So, anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking with it. Hopefully you were able to copy me. We're operating a hotspot today, as usual. With that, back to net controls, WB80 and the group. This is Whiskey 1 India Kilo, Portable 8, Jim in Addison Oaks, Michigan.
Oh, very good, Jim. No problem copying. And, yeah, that's some beautiful territory out there. In fact, I was surprised the first time I went out there for that field day how hilly it is in that part. I never realized it. Hey, everybody's been waiting for VK4MSS to tell us what he does besides amateur radio. And, of course, when they took the TV show, the soap opera, Neighbours, there's a TV show in Australia called Neighbours. It's been on the air for 37 years. And our friend Mel, I know this on good authority, when he was 40 years old, he got the first televised version of that program, and for 37 years he's watched it. Never missed a program. It's called Neighbours. You can probably find it on the internet. Mel, over to you, my friend.
Well, VK4MSS is returning, but my golly gosh. Walter Gracie, my heavens above. You're just lucky you didn't have a grandfather that carved you out of wood. Hi. Crikey, bloke. You could put a broomstick to shame. Ha! But I love it, Walt. I love it. I love your sense of humor and the way you so deadpan put it over. You sure you didn't take lessons from Buster Keaton? Ha! Golly gosh. Well, yeah. Well, I must admit that I might have bitten off more than I could chew when I suggested the topic. But I tell you what, gentlemen, so far I've been very well pleased with all the different thoughts, ideas, activities, etc. that other radio operators have. It's really good to hear that not everyone is a stick in the mud and only lives for talking into a microphone, as there are plenty here in Australia. But I suppose I better, as the Americans like to say, fess up and say, what do I do? I've got quite a number of other interests, but probably the most significant other interest, with the exception of my dearly beloved, is photography, which I've been playing around with for 55 years. I currently use 3 movie cameras and I use 1 still camera. I have a Sony AX3 handheld movie camera for just the regular stuff, you see. I have an RPA quadcopter for aerial work. RPA stands for Remotely Piloted Aircraft. Whatever you do, never call them I can't even think of the word now. It's such a terrible word. drone. Don't call them a drone. They are not drones. In Australia, they are officially by the Civil Aviation Safety Authority. That's the governing body for all commercial aircraft, and they insist on the worldwide name of remotely piloted aircraft. And together with that, I have a little Osmo Pocket 2 for doing interview work and other very close stuff. And of course, the still camera gets used for still camera work because I love sunsets. I love sunsets and I love time lapse and all sorts of other stuff like that. And that camera is a Pentax K70. And so that's what we do here. And what do I do with all this stuff? Well, with the movie stuff, I make vlogs. I'm very new to it. I've only been really doing it since about March of this year. So those of you who have looked at any of the vlogs I've posted on YouTube, I don't need to mention the name. I think Walt does an excellent job of that. I will anyway. It's called Motoring with Mel. And it's a bit of a fun thing, and I enjoy doing it. Hey, and Walt, there's another one in the pipeline now. I'm working on it as we speak. I'm just waiting for a bit of information from one of the people concerned, and it should get posted either tomorrow or Sunday. So there we are, gentlemen. That's what I do here, and that's about it from this neck of the woods. I'll put it back to you there, Walt, WB8E, and if there's a 73 round, count me in. Take it away there, Walt. This is VK4MSS, Mal, Charters Towers, Queensland, Australia. Gee, if I put that to music, I could make a hit song.
Oh no, you're going to be another Slim Dusty? Slim Dusty, what a name for a singer. He has some good tunes, though. He really does. Mel, Motoring with Mel, once again, dropping that name. Go to it, and I'm in awe. I really am, how clean Charterstown is. Just amazing. And some of the old movies, spaghetti westerns, where they're set up. I think a few of them were shot in Italy and Australia, if I'm not mistaken. Some of those old buildings remind me of those movies. Okay, let's go to KI8M, Gary, WB80.
Well, good evening, Walt, and everybody else in the net this evening. This is KI8M. As Walt was saying, it was enjoyable going out to the local park. I still call it Metro Beach, although they changed the name a couple of years ago to a real clever one. Lake St. Clair Metro Park, I believe it is. That's being my pain. What do I enjoy doing when not playing the radio? It's really a good time. I really so playing with my family and friends. I've been doing a lot of that, especially since the weather's decent here in southeast Michigan. We'll spend time out in the backyard patio. Everybody enjoyed it. And, have coffee or a bottle of or soft drink or whatever, and just kick the can around the table, so to speak. Other than that, I too enjoy reading, and I do an awful lot of reading. I like the books, as I know Walt does. He mentioned Tom Clancy, and that was one of my favorite authors. And the one work that I enjoy the best of his is called Red Storm Rising. So if you haven't read it yet, Walt, you might want to look into it. Be by a second. Watching my favorite team, even though they've been a heartbreaker for many years, and that's the Detroit Red Wings. But we'll watch them again. I'm sure they'll be starting their camp pretty soon, preseason camp. Usually, I think they go to Traverse City for that. And other than that, believe it or not, I still enjoy working part-time, doing something that I swore I was never going to do after leaving college and going into the military and doing my stint, and that was working retail. But I do that a couple of days a week and got a lot of good friends there, and that's what keeps me going. With that, we'll turn it back to Net Control. This is KIAM.
Very good, Gary. Yeah, I've read all of Tom Clancy's books. The ones I didn't like and gave up on when they were co-authored, when he just put his name on the marquee in reality, and I kept away from those. But the ones he wrote, I just love his reading. And Leon Uris, another full-time author that had a lot of wartime books out, very, very, just took you there. WASOX, WB80, Larry?
Alrighty, good evening, Walt, and everyone else on the net there. I've been trying to do a little bit of work here, and I lost track of the topic. What was the topic there, Walt?
How do you handle ingrown toenails? No. What do you do besides, it sounds like Chuck, what do you do besides amateur radio as a hobby?
Oh, okay. Well, I drop hammers on ingrown toenails for a hobby. So there you go. Anyways, no, everyone knows me. That's not true. So, anyways, gosh, I got a lot of hobbies. I like to restore old antique radios and ride my bike the most. I love to ride my bicycle, and lately that hasn't been happening, but hopefully this will all change here after this week. We'll see what happens there. Anyways, I got word that Pete, Alpha 8 Golf Kilowatt, is listening. He is over there in Grand Haven over at the Coast Guard Festival, but all he has is his FT2, and it's not quite hitting the repeater that well. But he's listening, so, anyways, that's good that he's out there enjoying all that beautiful weather out there, that's for sure. So, other than that, we're getting ready for the Mind Over Matter Bicycle Marathon this weekend, and should be a lot of fun. It's going to be out at Stony Creek Petro Park, and as you know, I'm involved with the communications part of it, so we'll trying to organize and get everything straightened away on that, and that's what's happening here. So, but with that, Walt, thanks for picking up the net, and I owe you big time, and we'll try to get your computer here fixed over one of these days when I get some free time here. So, WB80, W8SOX.
Hey, no problem, Larry. And I know you enjoy that bike riding. The weather's been, when I used to run, I'd have to get up at sunrise in weather like this to not suffer from heat stroke. And I was a lot younger then, too. Let's see. Hey, we're at the bottom of the list. Okay, I'm going to ask for more check-ins. You'll call your name to the zombie alert. Oh, and say hi to Pete there. Hopefully he's having a real great time. Welcome to the Zombie Alert Network, C4FM. 7 o'clock Thursday evening. Net, brought to you by USECA Amateur Radio Club. I need your call and your name. Don't be shy.
Alpha 8 Golf Kilowatt. Alpha Charlie 8 Zulu Delta.
Okay, Pete, you're out of there, my friend. You're out of there. I'll come back to you in a minute. Mike, I did get you, KO4PDI. Let's go up to Fred. Pick it up, Fred, WB80.
Thank you, Walt. Is there a question?
From Mel, what do you do? What gives you satisfaction, fun value, other than the amateur radio hobby? You know, like there's made mention, some people like to shoot, some people like to read, some people have other interests in clubs and things of that nature. W1IK is his job. He likes that. So anything other than amateur radio, what gives him great pleasure?
Okay, yeah, I got some fun things I like to do. Other things I truly enjoy doing is making detailed models. I've made a couple boats, Chris Craft from Dumas kits. I probably got 250 to 300 hours in the one that I built. I'm building another one. So, love doing that, and lately last couple of years, I've really gotten into Formula One, watching Formula One racing and all behind-the-scenes stuff that Netflix does and all the politics. It's pretty exciting. So those are the other things I'll be doing. Definitely building more models when I retire in a couple of years. So between ham radio and building my model boats, and I want to get into building planes, I'm going to be plenty busy. No problem keeping busy. That's for sure. Other than that, have a good day. One more day of work, and I'm on vacation next week, so I'm looking forward to that. And that's about all I got. Back to Net Control, KD8CYD.
Alpha Charlie 8, Zulu Delta.
You mentioned it, God, years ago. AC8ZD, WB80, Dave?
Well, good, you did get me. Good evening to Walt, and just so everybody knows, we are streaming on YouTube, and just as an experiment here. So I guess, what do I like to do other than ham radio stuff? I guess you can tell that I'm playing with computers and all that stuff. I used to work in IT. Now I'm doing software engineering stuff. So yeah, and anything computers. So before I did ham radio stuff, it was like I had computers everywhere. So that's one of these, and of course the family takes up the rest of that. So it's family is the hobby, and the computers are the hobby right now. So, and radio, of course. So, but with that, back to Net AC8ZD.
Very good. Very good, Dave. And you're having fun with it. KO4PDI, Mike, I seen you appear on the readout dashboard, I guess they call it, but no modulation. Over to you, my friend, and tell us about your net.
Well, thank you very much, Walt. This is Mike, KO4PDI. I got so many things I'm into right now. Number one, yes, we have a net at 8 p.m. down here in Florida in the ND1C room. It's room 80751. Come on by, say hello. Number one. Number two, I started a group on Facebook, and I'm probably going to be branching into doing a YouTube channel eventually, but we're just starting small right now. It's Ham Fun with KO4PDI. Please come by and join. I post things about my parks on the air. I post videos. Sometimes I broadcast live, and it's a lot of fun. Number two, why did I move to Florida? What do I love? What are my hobbies? Well, fly model airplanes. That's an expensive hobby. Sometimes even more expensive than ham radio. And I'm kind of losing interest in it, so I just sold like 20 of my airplanes. I only got 5 left. But I'm hanging on to them because they're really nice 5 planes. Number one. Number two, I love gadgets. I love talking to satellites. But the main reason I moved to Florida is I wanted to be close enough to Kennedy Space Center to watch rockets go up. And today was a historic day in the field of rocketry in the United States. For the first time in 50 years, we had 2 launches on the same day. I thought that was amazing. We had an Atlas V this morning, and just about an hour ago, we had a Falcon 9 rocket sending a Korean satellite to map the moon for future landings on the moon, which was pretty cool. That just happened at 7:08. That's why I wasn't here at the beginning of the net. So, yeah, and I love the space program. I love that, and that was pretty awesome. One of the things that's really amazing is watching Elon Musk do his thing with SpaceX. That rocket that launched today, that was its 5th flight, and it landed safely. Again, the booster. He has done 37 launches this year. Last year, he only did 31 launches. Already this year, he's launched 37 rockets and recovered the boosters on every one. This is going to be monumentally earth-shattering to people like NASA, who still can't get their SLS to fly. The tentative date for the launch of the SLS, the first launch, is August 29th. And I will bet a paycheck that it's not going on August 29th. NASA's, the way they do things is so archaic compared to the modernization that Elon Musk has come up with the SpaceX. It's incredible. If you know anything about space programs, it is amazing to watch Elon Musk. He is a modern-day Einstein, the way he's pulling all this stuff together. Anyway, so that's my hobbies. I love that. I love ham radio. I was out of commission for 2 days. Literally a half hour before this net, my internet was fixed, and I finally got my internet back, so my node's back up, and that's what I'm talking on now. Anyway, so you guys are all welcome to come. Go join Ham Fun with KO4PDI on Facebook. I'll immediately approve you to be a member and enjoy it. And that's it for me. Back to you, Walt. WB8E from KO4PDI. Thank you for having me. It's clear.
Oh, real good, Mike. Yeah, I've been having trouble with my internet or radio. Larry made mention of it. He came over, he got it working. The next day I went back to what I was doing. I'd go through Wiresx, put out my calls, somebody would come back to me. The radio would turn off and turn back on and drop me out of that room. And Larry's, he is busy, and he'll be here when he can. But yeah. And then to have no internet, strange voodoo radio. Hey, any other check-ins to the Zombie Alert Network? 2 meter, got 30-some years on the other frequency. C4FM, brought to you by the USECA Amateur Radio Club. Call a name. Oh, okay, not hearing you. Let's go back up to AAGK. Pete, are you back in the system? WB80. Nope, I guess not. Pete's up there for the... in North Carolina. I drive by them every day. There's a barrier of sand, and won't get into it. Actually, anyway, it's my fault. I should have done that and taken a camera. But we'll learn. Okay, round couldn't go for a 73 round. Let's see if KT7TT is there. Mark, are you still with us? Okay, Mark was new. Let's go to VK5JP. Pete, thank you. Welcome aboard. Over to you, Pete. And our topic is, what do you have? What other pleasures, hobbies, interests do you have other than radio? VK5JP, pick it up, Pete. WB80.
I was going to say good morning, but it's actually evening your time, isn't it? So good evening, Walt, and everyone else that's listening. Glad I made it. And yes, a lot of us, besides radio, have other hobbies. And I couldn't help but notice when I first clicked on, there was a chappie talking about biplanes. I'm not sure whether he was talking about quarter scale or full size, but my other hobby is building quarter scale and flying quarter scale aircraft and photography. So both of them go hand in hand, and it's a little bit of a relief from radio. But thanks for inviting me down, Walt. I wasn't sure what time you guys start, so it sounds by the sounds of it, it's part way through. So looks like I might have to get up a little bit earlier on Friday mornings. But again, many thanks for inviting us to your net. So back to you, Walt, and net control.
Okay, Pete. We started about an hour, 10 minutes ago. It'd be 7 o'clock.
Yeah, Roger, Walt. Well, looks like I'll have to set my sundial a little bit earlier for Fridays. But yeah, sorry for coming in tail end last week. I missed it altogether, so at least this week I managed to make it in. But anyway, now I've got the time. I'll make sure that we're here a little bit earlier. But again, many thanks, and hopefully I'll see you my Sunday, your Saturday afternoon there on the WIA broadcast. Back to you.
Yeah, I don't have the room number in front of me. My computer's screwed up. You want to give the room number so people can tune in on Saturday night around 8 o'clock our time. I think a little bit before. You have a preamble, a message from your version of ARRL. The room number, Pete.
Yeah, WBAD, VK5JP returning. Yeah, it's the Adelaide 10G, and it is room 69159. For those who've got hotspots and that same again, that comes up under AU, Adelaide 10G 69159. So that is the room number there, Walt. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Pete. Do appreciate it. And as I made mention, everybody, it'll be Saturday night our time around 8 o'clock. I think it's actually like maybe even 7:30. But you get the idea. Check in. Give a holler to that part of the world. Let's see. Mark wasn't there. NHUB. Andy, any final thoughts?
HUB, okay, Walt. Real good. Real good, Walt. Just want to mention again, thanks for mentioning ARNet. West Michigan Connect 21335, Tuesday nights, 7 o'clock Eastern. Everybody's welcome, so if everybody's out and about, give us a call over there and say good evening, give us another number on the sheet, and perhaps right along and tell somebody else that doesn't know about it. I'll try to check in that Saturday night too, 69159 I think it was, but we'll try that again. Hey, thanks, Walt. We'll catch you there Tuesday. And 8 should be great even.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. I try to punch in through my USECA repeater, and the radio won't. Anyway, something is wrong with my whole system. It's corrupted. But I'll try to make it Tuesday. But I couldn't make it last Tuesday because of the fact. Thank you for checking in. WA1UTQ, Bruce, WB80.
As you say, why is it corrupted? We have too many people on it. That's what it is. I told you 100,000. Take a look at your screen. You'll be interesting. You see some of these people are checking in. I'm surprised. Here I'm on them. By the way, any of those who are by repeater, since there's, we had a, but it wasn't on my repeater, it was a repeater through Echolink, John Quick, telling us that that was our net down here, that was telling us that the repeater is on sale. No trade-ins, no nothing, just if you want to buy a repeater, it's, and these are $1,700 DR2s, and you can get it without the land board for $700. That is cheap. I wonder if they're coming out with a DR3. Oh, that's a rumor. I didn't say it is. And $900 for the land board. And I remember I got two DR2s, and I'm saying to myself, gee, I spent a lot of money on it. Of course, I had traded one, and it wasn't, it was about $1,000. So, oh well. Anyways, so just to let you know that's what's happening, and right now it's 81 degrees, no rain, thunderstorms are gone. So, oh well. Okay, 73s all have a good evening, and we'll talk to you next. Come on, stuff in there. Yeah, I'm off next week. That'll be great. I'll see you all. Talk to you all next week. I see. Wish this video would be nice. Anyhow, 73's all. And Walt, take care. WMUTQ here in North Central Florida.
Okay, Bruce, you stay safe, my friend. W1IK, WB80. Jim, what else you got for us?
WB80, Net Control, here is Whiskey 1 India Kilo. And Thursday night is kind of like net night for me, Thursday and Sunday, because there's so many nets I'm interested in. The Audio Radio Network on 40 meters is currently QRV on 7271 lower sideband. Yes, I own a microphone. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but that's because these other folks haven't become real hams. Learned the Morse code. Well, we asked what we were what we did when we weren't playing ham radio. Well, it's kind of an artifact of being a Morse code aficionado. You have the same problem, Walt. I hear Morse code in everything. And everything. I hear it in white noise coming, road noise. Is someone calling C-Kit? What is that I'm hearing? And my mind's playing tricks on me, but I'll hear Morse code on a television show or a movie, an old movie, and I reach for my pencil. Okay, what's the call sign? A lot of times it's gibberish. A lot of times, as you know, it's not even real code. Sometimes it's random letters and numbers and stuff, and sometimes it's actual words. But I hear Morse code everywhere. Anyway, I'm listening on 7271 right now for them to call me. I'm number 2 on the log for the RV Radio Network HF Evening Net. It's a nightly net. Okay, not much else going on, and I'm deeply into the creation of masterpiece of a dinner here. Photos on Facebook later. Whiskey 1 India Kilo, Portable 8, Jim in Leonard, Michigan. The other Leonard.
I can remember when Leonard was a lifetime away. Nobody went there. K-H-J-E-H. Jim, are you available?
Yeah, good evening, Walt, and everybody on the net. Yep, we're here. We've transitioned from the mobile into the house. So we're just sitting here listening to the net and all that good stuff. Not really much more going on here. It's storms and whatnot, so this antenna is still connected, but the other ones are not right now. So I'm not turning the other on, and got a loss of motivation to connect them right now. So the wife and daughter should be home shortly. Her last class got out at 7:30, and that girl does a lot of dance. Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays she's at the studio at least until 7, sometimes 7:30, and I believe one night is until 8:15. So multiple days of 4 hours at the studio in the afternoon, evening. So I commend her, though. She's learned so much. Her competition solo, she's learned the rest of that today, and my wife says she's doing very well on that. She's got a trio and a bunch of other rec classes that she does on top of the competition company stuff. So hats off to her, and she loves it. So that's always a good thing. So yeah, I think here after the net we'll probably venture outside. Weather wasn't too bad. It wasn't too humid out this way in Chesterfield where I live. So we might venture outside and sit in the shade for a bit and see what we can drum up on the internet on the phone and whatnot and all that good stuff. With the new house, I'm looking at a potentially new mower. I have a 22-inch wide push mower, which worked great at the old house. It works here too. It just takes a little bit longer to do with a larger lot and larger yard and all that stuff. So I'm looking at potentially upgrading that. I'm not sure. Probably should have done it last year when I had to replace the mower and upgrade it to something bigger, but didn't. So I've been looking at used and new and all that good stuff and redoing a lot of research. So maybe next year. Seasons are almost over here and we haven't had a lot of rain. So anyway, thanks for running the net here tonight on our repeater, and we'll send it back over to you. WPAD Net Control. To you. KHAEH.
Okay, Jim. Hey, thanks for what you do for the club. And yeah, I'm lucky. One son pays for the lawn service, and the other son takes care of the snow. So there's no sense in even saying I want to move to a condo. They are my upkeep, which is good. Let's see, where we at? Come on, focus, Walt. Oh, VK4MSS, Mel. Any final thoughts? WB80.
This is VK4, Mike Sierra in sunny Charters Towers, Queensland, Australia, where it's always summertime. Hi. Yeah, right. At least it doesn't get cold like it does down the bottom half of the country. Interesting to hear old mate on from South Australia there this morning. I didn't catch, even if he said, I didn't quite catch what part of the state he was in, but hey, if you're still there, Crow Eater, it'll be good to hear you on and come back on this net any time you like. I've been muddying my boots here for, crikey, it's got to be 2 or 3 years now. And Walt, the venerable Walter, WBAD, he's a very interesting net control and a darn fine fella along with it. And for those that are listening, myself calling the other gentleman a crow eater is actually a term of affection in Australia. I'm a crow eater myself. Well, at least I was. I left Croatia country in 1971, and although I've been back on a few holidays and trips, I live in the tropical north of Australia, currently in Queensland. I don't think I'll shift. I'll go out of this house in a box feet first. Hi. But, yeah, other than that, yeah, it's all good. Been a lovely net there, Walt. Very interesting responses to the to what the gentlemen do when they're not actually playing radio. I thought that was really very interesting stuff. Especially, and I can't think of his name, Jim, I think, plays music and sings. Yeah, that's a good side issue. It would take just as much time and effort to do that as anything else. All right, that's enough waffle out of this neck of the woods. I'll be back next Friday morning at 0900 hours my time. Well, I don't know. South Australia has that daylight saving stuff down there. We just stick to one time the whole year round in Queensland. But yeah, the gentleman down there, the VK5, yeah, tune in again next week. Yeah, next week. Okay, Walt, back to you. Net Control, WBAD. This is VK4MSS, Charters Towers, Queensland, Australia.
Okay, Mel, yeah, that was VK5 Juliet Papa, and his name was Pete. Very good. Yeah, I used to do a lot more in life. I mean, I used to love my hunting and fishing. More or less got away from hunting because fishing took over, and I'm referring to, winter ice fishing. But still had time for deer hunting, pheasant hunting. That dropped out decades ago. Walleye fishing, which is a table fish, not a big-time game fish. Love that. Ice fishing for perch and walleye. Rabbit hunting, pheasant hunting, duck hunting, deer hunting. And was I any good at it? No. And I admit it, but I had fun doing it. KI8MWB80.
Very good, Walt. WBAD in a group. This is 8M Gary, and well, just for everyone's information, I probably live about 10 miles north of Walt. So, yeah, we'll just say 7-3 to 1 and all, and I agree with Mel. It was a good topic and a very interesting one. So, back to you, Mr. Walt, and we'll see you at the next lark, hopefully. This is KI8M.
Roger that, and I won't forget my radio. 888GK, Pete. No, wait. Scratch that. W8SOX, sorry. W8SOX, Larry?
Well, I don't know why you didn't hear Pete. He sounded very good into the system here when I heard him, and I don't know what happened there, but it is what it is. But anyways, well, thanks again for picking up the net, and hope everything will straighten out on your end with that computer, and hopefully we get you straightened away. We'll see what happens there. Other than that, thanks for picking up the net again, and I do appreciate it. We'll catch up with everyone later. With that, back to Net Control, NA or WVAD, W8SOX.
Yeah, Larry, there seems to be a lot going on. My neighbor across the street, he could text, but he couldn't dial outside phone lines, make a phone call. But he could send a text that went through. My internet was down and then came back on. So there's a lot going on in the digital world, I guess. And thank you for all you do, my friend. I really appreciate it. Let's see, AHGK. I didn't hear Pete, but let's see if he's there now. Pete? He's listening. That's great. Glenn, VA3GQG, your call came on. Hopefully you can get in the system. There's some...
Big Jacker 3 Golf, correct golf. Hopefully you can hear me there, Walt. Just bear with me on that. I was having some trouble getting in. I just did an update with the price star, so hopefully it's coming through now. Oh, pretty good. We're in Cold Lake, Alberta right now. We're under a tornado watch. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. It's just a lot of clouds and a little bit of blowing around. No humidity today. Bobby 21 Celsius, so what, 62 Fahrenheit, something like that. Took off to the Canadian Forces Air Force Museum here in Cold Lake and did that today, and not a whole lot else going on. Probably going to order some Chinese food. Other than that, back to net control, VA3GQG.
Okay, Glenn. Hey, good to hear you again, and don't be a stranger. We're talking about your setup at the Lark in the Park, how you've converted your minivan. And that was one of the subjects. Let's go to Fred, KD8ZYQ, WB80.
Thank you, Walt. Yeah, I've been, one nice thing about working at home is the fact that I've got my other computer set up and my radio on, and I've been running FT8 all day. Doesn't take a lot of interaction. I look over and see a country I need or some grid squares or what have you, counties, and make some contacts. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. Getting to use the radio equipment quite a bit, but still being able to do my job. It's a beautiful thing. That's all I got. Everybody have a good night, a good weekend, and back to net control, KD8ZYD.
Oh, very good, Fred. I don't know if you heard me say in the beginning, I did hear Turkey on the bottom end of 20. And that was really something. Oh, yeah, Mel made mention about W1IK. Jim, if you ever heard him on a straight key, everybody, guy's like a computer. I mean, when I say it, one of the best straight key operators that I know of. Not that I'm anybody, but as much as I love CW, this guy is phenomenal. He really is. Where are we at? Did I miss, no, I don't think I did. Oh, well. AC8ZD, WB80.
All right there. Well, thanks for doing the net. This one's a long one tonight. We're at 85 minutes already. So, say 73 to everyone, and we'll talk to everyone later. AC8ZD.
Okay, you take it easy, Dave. Mike is usually, Mike would be on his net. We won't, KO4 PDI, you never know. Okay. 5JP, Pete, are you still 380?
Hey, Roger, Walt. That Jay was still sitting there listening. And see my fellow down in Queensland. Those Queenslanders, banana benders, they like bragging about how good the weather is down there, but it might be warm, but they don't tell you about all the wet weather they get too, and the floods, the humidity, and all the rest of it. Not to mention the notorious black funnel web spiders getting into their shoes. They can have it. Might be cold down here, but still there it is. For those who
WB80. Well, yeah, I mean, to be fair, I did it earlier, like you described, the ability of Sandbar, and it went from showing mission to what span. It wasn't popular, and the span would move out with the winds, and it created quite a problem. Which is big stuff that's got to go for years to get back to it. Of course, the same year, with the rocky waters are really good.
Yeah, not sure if you threw it back to me. I had an inordinate amount of packet loss here, Walt. Just stand by. I'm just going to reset things here. I'll be back in a couple of seconds.
Okay, Pete and Glenn, I got what you said. I don't know if it's on my end, but the system's burping as I referred to a gentleman, and I don't know what's going. Well, it's just internet problems. You can't fault the system or what have you. It happens. It'll be corrected. Technology will take care of it. It will. Any other check-ins to the Zombie Alert Network, C4FM Thursday Night Net, WB80, Walt, your net control.
Kilo Oscar 4 Papa Delta Indy is back again. Our net's over already. There was nobody there. Everybody was in and out. So I came back here with you guys. And I'm watching you on YouTube, and I would love to learn how to do that.
Okay, Mike. Well, I tell you what. AC8ZD, Dave is still around. Alpha Charlie 8 Zulu Delta. I'm going to close the net now. So let me go for one more check. Anybody else want to check in? I don't want to close the net. And if you want to stick around and maybe Dave will help you. Any other check-ins? Call a name. Take your time.
VK Forum is just with a quick recheck.
Thanks for checking in. We do appreciate it, and myself and the other net controls. We enjoy this. We like to do it, and we appreciate when people check in and share their thoughts. Once again, everybody stay safe. WB80 clear. Oh, okay, Mel. Go right ahead.
Yeah, good on you there, Walt. Just a very brief thing there. I first have an apology to make quietly to yourself because you were not aware of a situation, and in particular to Pete, VK5JP. I totally forgot that there are people in Australia who take umbrage at being referred to by a very, very old form of address for where you live. In the background, it goes like this. If you live in Queensland, you're a banana bender because somebody has to bend the bananas, and we grow most of Australia's bananas are grown in Queensland. So we're banana benders, if you want to call it that. When you slip down the coast of New South Wales, you're a corn stalker. Corn as in that that yellow thing with all the seeds on. Love to eat with butter and pepper. And below them in the state of Victoria, they're known as cabbage patches. They grow a lot of cabbages down there. Across into South Australia, they're called crow eaters because 150 years ago, it was a very poor state. It was the only state in Australia that did not have convicts to make it grow. So they became crow eaters. A crow, of course, is a bird, and they were that hungry they ate the crows. And then you slip further west, you get into Western Australia, and they're called sand gropers because Western Australia is known as being the sandiest state in Australia. And then you go back up north to the Northern Territory, and they're simply known as Territorians. Now, I left out Tasmania because they, to the best of my knowledge, they do not have some other little name like that. So, there you go. So, if you're still listening there, Pete, I certainly didn't mean any umbrage to you for referring to South Australia as crow eater country. As I said, I was born there, and I left in 1971. Okay, well, thanks for hanging us on there. We'll catch it all up next week. Thanks for having me back. VK4, not VK4, WB8E. This is VK4 MSS, Charters Towers.
Oh, very good, Mel. No, I'm sure nobody was offended. People take names wrong, like I'm of Polish descent. I've never thought the term Polak was an offensive term. You know, it's like, where if you have to live around here, say, where were you born, Hamtramck, and somebody say, are you a Polak? You know, it's just a language, and I don't get upset. But yeah, we have every state here has a quirk. Like Detroit used to be known as the Motor City, now it's the Murder City. Last weekend was a real hoot. I think 21 people were wounded and 7 were killed. What do you call it, Murder City? Okay, everybody, thank you very much for checking in. I do appreciate it. Same time, same place next week, okay? WB80.
Thanks, Walt. KO4PDI, are you still around? AC8ZD?
AC8ZD, KO4PDI, yeah, and I'm watching YouTube, and I like your little banner with the Zombie Alert Network banner, and then I'm watching, it says YSF, USAC8Z, David, and you can disconnect setting. What is that app that you're doing to do that?
Okay, the app is called DroidStar. It's made by a guy named Doug, AD8DP. He's also a native Detroiter. I have never talked to him, but I've heard him on nets and things like that. But he developed this software from scratch, and there is an Android app, the same name, DroidStar. It's on all the platforms, Windows, Linux. So I'm using an Ambi decoder or Ambi vocoder USB stick. Okay, so that's why it says there's this Ambi 3000R. So it's a USB stick that plugs into the USB port of your computer, and then DroidStar can talk to that and use it for the vocoding for YSF, D-Star, DMR. I don't think it does the other ones, NX, DMP, 25, but at least the major three. So, and then the video recording software is the same one that you see gamers using, and the YouTube guys, everybody that does YouTube stuff. It's called. And then it's just a bunch of fancy, like, redirecting the audio into the OBS and streaming out to YouTube. It's got built-in YouTube integration. So that's what you're seeing right there.
So you can get into your room via DMR. You can get in with all these other digital, like D-Star and all that. You can get into your room with that?
Yeah, you cannot get into Wiresx with this. So what this is using is a self-reflector. It's really just a software server that runs on either Raspberry Pi or right now you're talking to Chicago, or it's routing to Chicago. So the way you cheat with the Wiresx to YSF bridging is you have your node radio on the same. I probably shouldn't tell people this because it has loops, but you have your node radio on the same frequency as a Pi star. As long as they're on the same frequency, you can route it to your reflector. So right now you're on this is also going out to USECA YSF reflector. And I usually only turn it on for the nets because I don't want to cause loops. So it's very problematic if you're not watching it. So you need to be in front of it. But that's how I bridge Wiresx as going Pi star and the frequency routing to a YSF reflector.
That's good to know, because we've been trying to figure out how to do that down here, and that's the issue. You get the looping when you try to tie into a Wiresx room from a Wiresx room into a YSF room. That's why Yaesu doesn't do it. I've been trying to convince Jim that we should just get a YSF room to do our net in, and then anybody could get in with a Pi star or whatever, or to do it that way. Instead of doing it strictly, like use the Wiresx for our local communications when we're driving around in our cars or whatever, or you have a node in our car, we can use the Wiresx. But when you want to have a net with a lot of people, it's very limiting, Wiresx. You know, only people with Yaesu radios can get into a Wiresx room, and that's very limiting. So I've actually been contemplating starting my own YSF room specifically to talk to other people that aren't on Wiresx. Because D-Star works great. People that like DMR and know how to use it enjoy it, and they think that's good. I will never mess with a DMR radio again. I'm so tired of it. It's not even funny. I owned an R-Finder B1 doorstop, and I'll never do that again. I even had shirts made up with DMR with a circle line through it. That's how much I hate it. But anyway, yeah, all right. So any of you guys going up to Huntsville in a couple of weeks? I'll be up there with Jim and Lisa and all the YouTube guys up on Montesano State Park. So we'll be doing Parks on the Air all day that Friday. So feel free to try to contact us. That's the 18th of August. We'll be running. I'll have my note up there in my car, so I'll be able to get you on my walkie-talkie, my 5T. I'll be able to talk in the ND1C room. But, anybody going up to Huntsville, love to meet you up there when I get there. KO4 PDI.
All right, well, you say up there, that would be down for us because we have to go south. But I'm trying to think, there was one thing that I'm forgetting to tell you, and now I can't remember it. It's very important too, but I can't remember it. Something to do with the what do you call it? With this cross-moding thing. I can't remember it. If I do remember it, I'll email you. But it's very important. It's an important key to making this all work in a simple manner. But I can't remember the thought now. Back to you, AC8ZD.
AC8ZD. Don't worry about it. I forgot some of the stuff you told me already because I got a sieve for a brain. But you know what would be cool? Join my group on Facebook, Ham Fun with KO4PDI, and you can post it there and tell everybody how you do it, and or share how you do it, and or take a picture of it and show me what you do and put it on that group. You're more than welcome to join. That's what it's for people
communicate outside of just talking in nets and talking on the air one-on-one with people. You can actually go there and say something. You might help one of the other members. Like I said, we got 20 members in 6 days. I'm expecting it to double in another week. So, because I go on nets all over the place. I go on HF nets. I go on Wiresx nets. I go everywhere, and I talk about it, and I invite people. So you're more than welcome to come, and I think it's really cool that you stream live on YouTube while you're doing it. There's another guy that does a lot of live streaming on YouTube while he's on the air. That's Greg, K6EGG. Look him up on YouTube. There's a ton of videos. He does live from He's in California. Almost every day he's on for an hour or two, and depending on what's going on with his kids and if he's got time that he could do it, he does it. And it's really cool. So K6EGG is his call sign. Just go on YouTube and type that in. You'll find his page. And you can watch what he does. He streams live. He's got one box with his face, another box with the dashboard from his Pi-Star, another box with a chat window in it, and he's got all these things running all at the same time. It's really impressive what he does. And I think he uses that same software you mentioned to get everything on YouTube. I also found out that there was another YouTube app, which my mind just went blank, and I can't remember the name of it. It's not an app. It's a web page you go to, and you sign up for it, and you can stream on 5 different platforms simultaneously at the same time. You go to this page, you put your thing, you log into it, and you put in all your information about Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and you can put all your sign-in information in this page, and then just hit one button, and you're instantly live on all those platforms. And that is pretty cool to me. I'm going to learn how to use that. Actually, my pastor, my church does that. And she does a radio show every week on WNZF in Flagler Beach. And every week she streams live while she's recording her radio show. So it's a lot of fun, and it's easy to do. All right, that's it for me. I will say 73, and thank you for the info. And please, come join the net. Come join the Have Fun with KO4PDI on Facebook. Love to have you. I'll be clear, KO4PDI, clear.
All right, just one thing quick. I remembered. It's go look at Skyhub Link. Skyhub Link. They're probably the masters at cross-moding and bridging a bunch of stuff. And yes, I did sign up when you mentioned it earlier in the net. I signed up for your Facebook group there, so you should have a pending request for me. So anyways, we'll say 73s, and I'm going to go up in the tree. AC8ZD.
Enjoy, Dave. Yes, I did already add you to the group. You made 20.
All right, very good. 73. AC8ZD again.